Good morning to you. I hope you are feeling on top of the world and not feeling blue. Today's words are based all around architecture. On November 19th, 2020, we are on page 40. Notice what happens with the Roman numerals. L is 50, X is 10 less than 50. Therefore, we have XL, and no, it's not extra large. Architecture. You will be looking up the etymology of this word as well, and it will be in your visual vocabulary. I'm not asking you to write a sentence for it, but you need the word architecture, you need a little visual, and then you need the etymology for it, okay? I'm cutting you a break on this one. So the first word that we have, excuse me, for architecture is the word edifice. What's the word? Excellent, edifice. And an edifice is simply a large and impressive building. Okay, so for example, the new office building became the city's largest edifice. And building is a terrific synonym for that. A building, but something that's large and impressive in terms of a structure, which is another great a vocabulary word we use with building, is a skyscraper, structure, a monument, a certain type of house, but it's got to be very large and impressive, perhaps like a mansion. Antonyms are really, really tough on this one. However, I would say if you had to push it, a shack or a hut, because they're small and really kind of basic in that regard. But an edifice, again, is a large and impressive building. All right, the Empire State Building, think about that. And so many skyscrapers throughout New York City and other major cities around the world. That's an edifice. Okay, so edifice, let's go. Edifice. Edifice. We use k. S. So let's go. Edifice. Edifice. Now, we don't underline the ed because ed, we know, is a suffix. It's a word ending. Okay, so we have just two things to mark up. So how do we mark this up? Excuse me, underline the C and the silent E twice. Job number 3, but rule 2. And I notice more and more of you are taking little notes on the side as we try to inspire you to do. That's fantastic. All right, the next word is related to what you've been learning about the Middle Ages and castles. Turret. What's the word? Exactly, turret. And it's a small, narrow tower. Tower. Excuse me, tower. All right, so the castle had a turret at each of its corners. All right. Now, interestingly enough, ships also have it, planes, tanks. That hold a gun. I've known people back in the old days in World War II who were gun runners, as they used to say, and they worked, their position was a turret. All right. So anyway, some great synonyms, excuse me, as a tower, a steeple, a spire, a watchtower, a belfry, and a crow's nest. A crow's nest on a ship where they used to have the telescope and look out. Ahoy, there's land, land ho. So that's an excellent example of a turret that's not found on a castle. By the way, if you look on the visuals of the amazing word power, it's very interesting. I just made a little note for myself. The castle looks like a face. It really does. It's cute. Okay, anyway, some antonyms. It's a little tough in this regard, but I would say that maybe a basement, a cellar, a vault, the crypt, a catacomb, a storeroom, an attic. Those are sort of antonyms for a turret. All right, so let's go. Turret. 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 We use the like in nurse. So let's go. Turret. Turret. And notice we divide the syllable by the double consonant. Just a gentle reminder. Okay, so how do we mark this up? Underline the Fantastic. Okay, the next word is something that should be familiar to those who attend church. but buildings have these as well. So the next word is the word spire. What's the word? Excuse me, spire. And it's a structure on a building that comes to a point. So the church's spire reached 80 feet in the air. If you look at a lot of the edifices throughout throughout New York City, especially the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building has a spire on it. That's a radio antenna to catch those signals. All right. So just for your convenience sake, if you look in your Amazing Word Power, the word spire, they tell you where it comes from. It's right on the page. Okay. So even think about the Statue of Liberty, right, on Lady Liberty's crown. 7 spires. All right, so think about this, like a spire, another synonym for it would be a steeple, the apex, a needle, a peak, the acme, the pinnacle, the summit. And I learned a new word. I didn't know this. Flèche. It's French. Ooh la la. Okay. Anyway, antonyms would be a base or a bottom. And think about the word spire. If you notice, it reaches very, very high in the sky. Well, when something starts to inspire you, you are reaching for new heights, for new levels. Okay? Spire. Let's go. S-P-I-R. Silent E. Spire. Let's go. S-P-I-R. Silent E. Spire. How do we mark this up? Underline the I and the silent E twice. Draw an arrow back. Why? You got it. Because in this case, the silent E makes the I say I. So the next one we are going to skip down to is number 5. It's the word face. Now on the face of it, no pun intended, face seems like a simple word, but in fact, it is a major, major homograph. So the first way we could use the word face is, of course, the obvious one, our body part, right? But think of a body part, a cover, a mask, the surface, the face of a clock. But then again, I said on the face of it, on the appearance of it. Okay, that's another way to use it. And this is also related to buildings. You'll see the face of a building, right? Just like we have the face on our bodies, but the appearance of it as well. And also face. Think about direction, like face front, face forward, about face. So we can use it in a variety of ways, a diverse amount of ways, which is a WOD. Okay, so a great antonym in terms of the body part, you have your face, which is on the front, or you can actually, front is a great synonym. The antonym would be back. Okay, now in terms of direction, right, you have to face a certain direction, you have to look at it, you have to have that direction. Sorry about that. Something just looked strange on my paper. Anyway, so the opposite would be to dodge, to avoid, to turn away. To retreat. To sort of, maybe to lower. All right? All right. So now, anyway, as I was saying, getting back to this, I'm kind of mental meandering right now. But the appearance of it, where were we? So again, when we face facts, and we've all heard that before. That's pretty good idiom, I suppose. But anyway, possibly. Anyway, when you're facing something, that means you are willing to look at it. You're willing to deal with it. Well, an antonym would be to refuse, to reject, or to ignore. All right, so number 5 is the word face. Let's go. F-A-S, silent E, face. We use k, s, f, a, s, silent E, face. How do we mark this up? 3 things. Underline the A, the C, and the silent E twice. Draw an arrow back. Why? Excellent, because in this case, the silent E makes the A say A and the K say S. So that is rule 2. Soft C. when followed by Y, I, or E. And of course, we can use it in more than one way. It is a homograph. What does this all have to do with architecture? Well, the facade of a building is the face of a building. It is the cover, it's the appearance, it's the face, obviously. It's the front, it's the show, right? For example, sometimes people put up a facade, right? They act one way, but really inside, they act one way in front of you, but they act another way with other people, or they're putting up an appearance, for example. They may be sad, but they're putting up a smiley face because they don't want anybody to know that they're sad. So that's a facade. All right. Another terrific synonym for facade is the exterior. Exterior, the facade, the exterior of a building. All right. And we've all heard the phrase, things are not always what they appear. And there may be a facade. If you remember from last year, the terrible Mr. Twitmeyer, that whole story, he had to put up a facade. Not going to go into it on the video as to why, but we can discuss that. Okay. Anyway, facade. And this is very interesting. It's one of the very, very few exceptions with Rule 2. You'll see. And it does come from the word face. We're going to drop the silent E, but we go facade. Facade. We retain the C, and it is not facade. Okay? Facade. Facade. Otherwise, it would have been too confusing. It comes from the word face. We drop the silent E, as you can see. But we have to retain the soft C. Facade wouldn't make sense. Facade. All right? Facade. So we have 1, 2, 3 things to mark up. So let's go. Think about it. Excellent. Third sound. Think about it again. Yes. Third sound. Underline the silent E twice. Job number 5. And again, we have Rule 2. But notice that we drop the silent E, and that is Rule 13. Alrighty. And what do we do with these two words? Brace. And they in the Amazing Word Power, they actually give you the etymology here. And the next one as well, they give you word power. The word is plaza. And for anybody who speaks Spanish, you know exactly what that means. Now, technically, plaza can be used as a homograph, but we're just going to generalize about this for right now. Okay? Like in the Bronx, what's that plaza over there? Plaza Bay, right? Plaza Bay. Okay. Anyway, a plaza is a public square or a town or a city. Festivals can be held in a plaza. But if you think about it, right, it's just means a place. So plaza, here are some synonyms: public square, a quad, courtyard, the center, like the town square. Okay, there's the plaza. A patio in your own home, court, but of course not Judge Judy. A piazza, a mall, a park are great examples of a plaza. A public square, as I said. Antonyms, I honestly can't think of any, cramped quarters, things like that, prison, but we'll leave plaza alone as that goes, okay? Let's go, plaza. 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 And we're going to use the Z, which is quite rare. Plaza. Plaza. We have 1, 2, 3 things to mark up. Think about it. Third sound and third sound. All right, so WOD number 1 is the word diverse. What's the word? Fantastic, diverse. We were just having a conversation about how diverse squirrels can be in terms of their fur color. From standard and common to black. It runs the whole gamut in some ways. Okay, diverse. And diverse means a variety of something. Many, numerous, various, different. types of different kinds or types. Assorted, mixed, miscellaneous, which is in your messages in Dojo on Dojo. But again, assorted and mixed. Think about A Mother for Choco, for those who read it, and how diverse she even looked, because she was such a mix and combination of her mom and her dad. All right? Think about all the diverse plants that we have in nature, and so many more in terms of life. There's so much diversity around. Okay, diverse. Let's go. Diverse. Diverse. Okay, so let's go. Diverse. Diverse. So we have 1, 2, 3 things to mark up. So let's go. Underline the I, the and the silent E twice. Job number 5. Yes, party crasher. The I can say I at the end of a syllable. That is rule 4. And WOD number 2 is, it's so ironic because I offered an incentive yesterday to find my error for one of the spelling words. And we've all heard the word incentive, and it's a great one because it's a motivation, it's encouragement. When somebody says, wow, man, what a fantastic job. That's the incentive to do more, to be more successful, to explore, to reach new levels of success. So incentive is a motivation, an encouragement, a reason to do something, to entice you, to tempt you. Okay? So an incentive, hey, yeah, I want to do this. I'm motivated to do this. Some terrific antonyms: or to discourage, to deter, or it's a deterrent, or to prevent. Okay, and we've all had negative naysayers who try to discourage us. They don't give us a motivation or an incentive to want to achieve. Incentive, let's go. Whoa, there we go. And ultimately, the incentive to succeed, or even in a competition, is not to beat your competition. It's to achieve your values and achieve your best. It's not to defeat somebody else. Incentive, let's go. Incentive. Incentive. V. Excellent. No, V silent E. Let's do it one more time. Incentive. Incentive. We use k. So let's break this up by syllables. First syllable, in. Second syllable, sen. And third syllable, tiv. All right, so we have 2 things to mark up. Underline the V and the silent E twice. Job number 2. But I see a rule over here. Whoa, this got cut off. Okay, I see a rule over here. Excellent. I just have to do it down here. Rule 2. Soft C, when followed by Y, I, or E. Okay? And when we succeed, we don't rest. We have an incentive to continue our success. Let's go. Incentive. Incentive. Diverse. Let's go. Diverse. Diverse. Plaza. Plaza. And the etymology is in there. Face. Silent E. Face. Facade. Facade. R, silent E, spire. Etymology is in there. Etymology is in there. You know what I mean in there. Turret. Turret. Edifice. Edifice. There you go.